Hi guys, Egypt here with another Total War Shogun 2 multiplayer commentary video. Today I'm playing a 1 vs 1 matchmake battle with medium funds on the Crossroads map. My opponent is Walter Weiss in the purple and white. New feature for all 10 of you that have watched my videos, I have a new email address, egyptmeansidiot@gmail.com. If you have a really good replay that you want cast, send it my way and I will put it up on the channel. Actually, my next video should be just that, so stay tuned. Getting down to business, I have 4 units of Katana Samurai, 1 unit of Naginata Warrior Monks, 1 unit of Yari Samurai. Those 2 guys are going to protect me against cavalry. I have 2 units of Bow Ashigaru to skirmish, and then in between my katanas here and the spears, I have 2 units of Matchlock Warrior Monks, and they're going to do massive morale damage to my opponent. For my cav, I have 2 units of Yari Cav, and they're going to sit there on the flank. My opponent has a slightly different army than you usually see in multiplayer. He has 4 units of Yari Samurai, 2 units of Katana Samurai, 1 unit of Katana Cavalry, 2 units of Yari Cav, and 2 units of Bow Cav. So that gives him a really big cav advantage, and those 4 units of Yari Samurai are going to obliterate my cavalry if they get tangled up. However, I do have a really significant advantage if we get into melee combat, and my Katana Samurai are going to do a lot of damage versus these Yari. So that is definitely an advantage I am going to want to press. My forces are moving up to this ridge right here. That's going to be enough to get me the downhill charge bonus, and going to be enough to really penalize them should he decide to charge up it. At the same time, I'm going to maneuver my cav to be prepared against anything he might have hidden in the trees. He does not have anything hidden there at the start of the game, so these guys are just going to walk around and be kind of wasteful for the moment. Setting up to shoot at him as he approaches, I pulled these guys back, originally thinking I would fire over the heads of my guys as these guys came in, but then I remembered that since doesn't really look like he's going to threaten my archers with his cavalry, I decided to pull them in front and direct fire the archers right into the advancing units of samurai. And anytime that you can get your archers to shoot straight on at a unit, especially at close range, you're going to do really big damage. And anytime your archers are causing those casualties, that's their job, is to shoot people from range and not get, messed up in that combat there. So this Bow Cav was harassing my flank, and I was worried he was going to bring in this unit of Katana Cav and Yari Cav, so I set my matchlocks up here on the flank with the Naginatas right behind them. If he charges at me right there, he's going to really eat it hard. So these Yari Samurai coming up the hill now, charging at me. I'm going to charge downhill with Katanas. Remember, Katanas are significantly better in melee than Yari, so that's going to be a really big advantage for me. Charging all the way across the line. You can see my bows, they were firing at the general. They're going to fire around until I actually take the time to micro them. Initially I thought I was going to be able to break these guys out here on the flank. I did not get to do that though. And he did not initially charge, so I pulled my matchlocks over here to start firing into the combat. Over on this side you can see I wanted to check the advance of this Yari Cav, so I brought up the Yari Samurai. He did recognize that would be a pretty awful situation if he charged down into that. Matchlock Monk's going to fire into the combat over there. I do not keep them on fire at will most of the time, so I had to actually toggle that on, and then I start firing. I checked this side advance here with the Cav, and he charged right past me, right into the back of this flank over here, and almost broke them until I decided to pop rally on my guys. I also had the Metsuke Inspector debuff, that's what's getting applied right there. And then I'm going to charge him in the rear with the Katanas, Naginata Warrior Monks and the Yari Cav. Both do extra damage against cavalry, and that is just not going to go well for him at all. Over here, this unit of Yari Samurai starting to get pretty beaten up by the Matchlock Warrior Monks. Also, no more threat from Cav, so these Yari Sam can come down into the battle where he actually did charge with his Cav. So not only am I going to be even with his Yari Samurai, I'm going to be doing really good damage versus the Yari Cavalry. Pop the War Cry debuff from the Naginata Warrior Monks on this flank, and charge downhill with the general over here to shatter the 2 units of samurai that were fighting in the middle. Do not want to ordinarily charge with your general, but if you're going to just break the units that are fighting there, that's a really safe bet. It's just because if your general dies, you pretty much instantly lose the game. and that is something you really need to avoid. And I do not even want to risk going general to general here. That's just kind of a desperate maneuver I don't want to use yet. Over here, Matchlock Monk's getting ready to fire at the unit of Bocav, charging everything I have at his general, which he is going to charge straight into mine. Another tip here, if your general gets charged and you have some spears right here, run your general right past your spears, and that's going to be really helpful for you. And the last thing to see here is that unit of Matchlock Monks absolutely murdering him. So he decides to do GG here. He does honorably quit, and I do get a replay out of it and the win, which was nice of him. The biggest thing I wanted to point out in this movie is that katanas do destroy Yaris. So do not really emulate this guy's army. I think if he were to have maybe balanced it out more to have more katanas, he would have had a lot more success, because then we could have had a pretty fair engagement in the middle ground here. And he could have really used that cav advantage, but instead he just had no real way to deal with the total number of swords I had. So overall, really great game though to Weiss for using what he had pretty well. And remember guys, Egypt means idiots. See you next time.